It was late in the afternoon when the loudspeaker called me to my final duty. The family pets contestants were arranged on wooden chairs drawn up in a wide circle on the turf. They were mainly children, but behind them an interesting ring of parents and friends watched me warily as I arrived. The fashion for exotic pets was still in its infancy, but I experienced a mild shock of surprise when I saw the variety of creatures on show. I suppose I must have had a vague mental picture of a few dogs and cats, but I walked round the circle in growing bewilderment, looking down at rabbits. Innumerable rabbits of all sizes and colors, guinea pigs, white mice, several budgerigars, 2 tortoises, a canary, a kitten, a parrot, a myna bird, a box of puppies, a few dogs and cats, and a goldfish in a bowl. The smaller pets rested on their owners' knees, the others squatted on the ground. How, I asked myself, was I going to come to a decision here? How did you choose between a parrot and a puppy, a budgie and a bulldog, a mouse and a myna? Then, as I circled, it came to me. It couldn't be done. The only way was to question the children in charge and find which ones looked after their pets best. Which of them knew most about their feeding and general husbandry? I rubbed my hands together and repressed a chuckle of satisfaction. I had something to work on now. I don't like to boast, but I think I can say in all honesty that I carried out an exhaustive scientific survey of that varied group. From the outset, I adopted an attitude of cold detachment, mercilessly banishing any ideas of personal preference. If I had been pleasing only myself, I would have given first prize to a gleaming black Labrador sitting by a chair with massive composure and offering me a gracious paw every time I came near. And my second would have been a benevolent tabby. I have always had a thing about tabby cats, which rubbed its cheek against my hand as I talked to its owner. The pups, crawling over each other and grunting obesely, would probably have come third. But I put away these unworthy thoughts and pursued my chosen course. I was distracted to some extent by the parrot, which kept saying, "Hello," in a voice of devastating refinement, like a butler answering a telephone, and the myna, which repeatedly adjured me to "shut door as you go out," in booming Yorkshire baritone. The only adult in the ring was a bosomy lady with glacial pop eyes and a white poodle on her knee. As I approached, she gave me a challenging stare, as though defying me to place her pet anywhere but first. "Hello, little chap," I said, extending my hand. The poodle responded by drawing its lips soundlessly back from its teeth and giving me much the same kind of look as its owner. I withdrew my hand hastily. "Oh, you needn't be afraid of him," the lady said frigidly. "He won't hurt you." I gave a little laugh. "I'm sure he won't." I held out my hand again. "You're a nice little dog, aren't you?" Once more the poodle bared his teeth, and when I persevered by trying to stroke his ears, he snapped noiselessly, his teeth clicking together an inch from my fingers. "He doesn't like you, I can see that. Do you, darling?" The lady put her cheek against the dog's head and stared at me distastefully, as though she knew just how he felt. "Shut door as you go out," commanded the myna, gruffly from somewhere behind me. I gave the lady my questionnaire and moved on. And among the throng there was one who stood out, the little boy with goldfish. In reply to my promptings, he discoursed knowledgeably about his fish, its feeding, life history, and habits. He even had a fair idea of the common diseases. The bowl, too, was beautifully clean and the water fresh. I was impressed. When I had completed the circuit, I swept the ring for the last time with a probing eye. Yes, there was no doubt about it. I had 3 prize winners fixed in my mind beyond any question, and in an order based on strictly scientific selection, I stepped out into the middle. "Ladies and gentlemen," I said, scanning the company with an affable smile. "Hello," responded the parrot fruitily. I ignored him and continued. These are the successful entrants. First, number 6, the goldfish. Second, number 15, the guinea pig. And third, number 10, the white kitten. I half expected a little ripple of applause, but there was none. In fact, my announcement was greeted by a tight-lipped silence. I had noticed an immediate change in the atmosphere when I mentioned the goldfish. It was striking. A sudden cold wave which swept away the expectant smiles and replaced them with discontented muttering. I had done something wrong. But what? I looked around helplessly as the hum of voices increased. What do you think of that, then? Not fair, is it? Wouldn't have thought it of him. All them lovely rabbits, and he hardly looked at them. I couldn't make it out. But my job was done, anyway. I pushed between the chairs and escaped to the open field. "Shut door as you go out," the miner requested in deepest bass as I departed. I was about to leave when a snatch of conversation from behind made me pause. "A bloody goldfish," a voice saying disgustedly. "Aye, it's a rum one, George," a second voice replied. "But that knows, Fred," the first voice said. "That vet feller had to do it. Didn't have no choice. He couldn't pass over the squire's son. Reckon you're right. But it's a bugger when you get graft and corruptions in the family pets." A heavy sigh then. "It's the way things are nowadays, Fred. Everything's ulterior." "You're right there, George. It's ulterior. That's what it is." I fought down a rising panic. The Pelhams had been lords of the manor of Darrowby for generations, and the present squire was Major Pelham. I knew him as a friendly farmer client, but that was all. I'd never heard of his son. I clutched at Tristan's arm. "Who is that little boy over there?" Tristan peered out glassily across the sward. "The one with the goldfish bowl, you mean?" "That's right. It's young Nigel Pelham, the squire's son." "Oh, God!" I moaned. "But I've never seen him before. Where's he been?" "Boarding school down south, I believe. On holiday just now." I stared at the boy again. Tousled fair hair, grey open-necked shirt, sunburned legs, just like all the others. George was at it again. Lovely dogs and cat there was. But Squire's lad won it with a bloody goldfish. "Well, let's be right," his companion put in. "If that lad had brought along a bloody stuffed monkey, he'd still have got first prize with it. No doubt about it, Fred. The other kids might as well have stopped at home."